What up, everyone? We got Marvel Collector Corps right here. So, this is their fourth box. We got the Villains box. So I was very excited for this because I'm a huge fan of Venom, and he's right on the front of the box. But let's take a look at this box and see what we got. First, we got a t-shirt. So let's take a look at the design. Personally, I was very pleased with it. I really like the design of this. And I really like that they're not pushing the whole pop thing. Because they were doing that for a while, where the t-shirt and the comic and everything was just all pop figures all the time. So, nothing against pop, I just don't want it on everything in the box. So I like that they took a more comic style to this. They kind of give it this like almost hand-drawn look where it's like black and white. And you got Venom right on the front there. Really cool design. I very much like this. Obviously it has the Marvel logo on the front, but I don't mind the logo if it's the Marvel logo because it's a much more recognizable logo. So overall I really like this shirt. And it's a Funko brand shirt, and the quality is actually very nice. It seems very nicely done. It seems professionally printed. They didn't go through like a third-party company to print it. I'm sure Marvel has like plenty of printing presses that they use for their own personal shirts, so the quality is very nice. So I genuinely like this shirt. I'm going to give this shirt an overall value of like an 8.5 out of 10 because it's branded, it fits well, the design is good. I think anyone would like the design. Obviously, if you like Marvel and you're getting this crate, you like the villains of Marvel, so you wouldn't be disappointed by this because it has a whole bunch of them on there. You're bound to like at least one of them. And the overall layout of it is really cool. Like that's about as good as you can get. There's not much more that they could have done better on it. Obviously, it could have been like a little bit more fitted or something like that, or the design could have been a little more creative. So there's always room for improvement, but that's just being nitpicky. Other than that, I think it's a fantastic shirt, and I think pretty much anyone who would have gotten the box would have liked this shirt, and it would have been pretty much what you'd expect to get out of the Villains box. So, I'm very happy with that. I like it. Then, we got a comic book, and I like that they're bagging and boarding them, so that's very good. We got the Invincible Iron Man, and from what I heard, I haven't kept up with this series particularly too much, but from what I've heard, Tony Stark apparently goes pretty dark, so I was confused when I saw Iron Man at first, but it makes sense when you consider, like, that's I think there was another name for it. I'm sure someone in the comments will correct me, but it's basically an evil Tony Stark. So he's like more like a villain. I'm assuming that's what it is, otherwise he wouldn't belong in the villain's crate. So again, I'm happy to not see like the pop figure on the comic book. They're not pushing it too much. It's a good balance of like comic style characters and Funko stuff. It's a mix, which is what it's supposed to be. So I'm happy with that. So yeah, it's always, and obviously we always like getting exclusive stuff. So, and I like that they put it in sealed plastic because that just makes it a little more collectible. I like that. Good stuff. Then we got a pop figure. Now our pop figure, they promised us an exclusive sculpt, like an exclusive figure, so that's what they gave us. And they gave us Morbius. So to my knowledge, I don't think they've done Morbius before. I could be totally wrong, but if they have, they did a new version of Morbius. So I wasn't super thrilled about this pop in particular, not because I have anything against Morbius. He's a cool character. I really like him. But there's just nothing super special about this pop, you know? Like, the first box had the Hulkbuster. That one was really cool because it was oversized and it had a ton of detail and stuff. And there's nothing bad about this pop at all. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no design flaws or anything like that. But it's just not super, like, special. Like, when you know that they're making figures specifically for this box, you kind of get your hopes up sometimes. But, you know, the first one obviously was Hulkbuster. The second one was Ant-Man. And you got the little mini one in there. And then the third one, pops weren't that great, but you got two of them. Now, this one is just like, it just kind of seems okay. Nothing wrong with it at all, but I don't think Morbius is a super popular character. And there are so many other villains they could have done. And that doesn't make this one bad, but I think a lot of people would have been disappointed to get this one because a lot of people hope for Green Goblin on his glider. I think that's what a lot of people assumed it was because they haven't done that. Or a different version of Venom, like maybe an unmasked one with the symbiote on his face, or maybe like an anti-Venom one, something like that. I know they're going to make those ones too, but that's kind of what I was hoping for. So, again, let me just reiterate, nothing wrong with this, but I think people had gotten their hopes up a little high. But either way, Morbius is cool, and I actually recently bought some artwork from Morbius comic, some original artwork by Scotty Young, the #1 comic they had. I just bought the cover page. But anyway, I'll talk about it in a different video. I'm just very excited about it. Anyway, that's our Morbius pop figure. Next, we got a Pocket Pop. So I was pretty happy to get this because I don't think we've gotten a Pocket Pop yet. So I'm glad they're doing different stuff. I'm glad they're not just doing the generic stuff because Funko has so many products. I'm glad they're mixing it up a little bit. So that's really cool, and I hope they do more in the future. In future boxes, I'd be fine with seeing like possibly a reaction figure. I don't know if they could do reaction with Marvel, or some of the Vinyl Sugar stuff, like maybe some of the like bigger figures, or maybe another like 6-inch pop again. Like basically, I just want to see some variety. Obviously, it's strictly Funko, but there's no reason why they can't mix it up a little bit. And that's what I was saying. I'm happy to see not all pop stuff, but either way, I'm happy we got something Venom because he's probably one of my favorite Marvel villains. I don't know if he's #1, but he's definitely up there. He's a very cool character. Now, obviously, it's just the little Pocket Pop, so it's not super special, and it's already modeled after a pop that already exists, but I always like the Pocket Pops. I like smaller ones. You can display more of them. And honestly, the quality of the Pocket Pop versus the regular one is usually the same, because the paint job on the normal pop figures is not much better. So I'm always happy to see Pocket Pops, and it's cool that we got an exclusive one. I don't think I've ever gotten an exclusive Pocket Pop before, so I was pretty happy with this. But again, this isn't super amazing. It's pretty common looking, but I still really like Venom, so I thought that was cool. Alright, next, our last big ticket item, we got another Dorbz figure. So a lot of people don't like the Dorbz series. I personally do. I think they're cool. Some people say they're just really simplistic. They look like Happy Meal toys, but that's kind of the point. That's kind of their selling point. They take characters and break them down to their basics to where they're just these two little bubbles and a smiley face. But there's just distinguishing features that make it that character. The fact that they're so simplistic is kind of their selling point. They're doing it on purpose. It's not that they're like cheaping out, it's just that's the design of them. So I personally like that, but I've heard that a lot of people don't. And the Loki one, I thought they already had a Loki. Maybe they have a different paint job that's a store exclusive or something like that, but you know, he's pretty cool. He's a decent character. Again, wouldn't have been my first choice. It seems common with these boxes that they're kind of trying to push things more than they are crowd-pleasing, which is completely understandable. Marvel does that. Anytime they give out licensing or they put characters in a movie or a game, it's usually, a lot of times, it's their lesser-known characters because they're trying to push those characters. That at the end of the day, Marvel wants to make money. They want to sell comics. They want to sell their products. So that's why you're going to get a Morbius and a Loki versus like an Anti-Venom or a Carnage or something like that, or Green Goblin. They could easily put the more popular characters and please everyone, or they can put whatever they want in the box and push more of the products that they want to. So I think that's kind of what they're doing a little bit, which, you know, that's just business. It's hard to be like upset about that or take it against them because that's just what business is. That's how any business is going to be. But either way, I still think it's a cool character, but again, I don't think it was anyone's first choice. But regardless of that, at least it's exclusive, so that's cool. I appreciate that. Then our last little items is just the filler stuff that comes in every little box. If I can hold them and get the camera to focus. The pin and the patch. So it's always different faces, and then it says Marvel Collector Corps. Nothing super special about it, but they're still cool. They're still good quality, and the pins are good if anyone collects pins or likes patches. So this is just the filler stuff, but still happy to see it. So that was all the items in the box. Let's go back through the box and talk about some value and give it a rating. Alrighty, so the shirt. I'm very pleased with this. The quality is much nicer than most quality t-shirts that we get in boxes. So many of them are printed very poorly, and this one was very nice, and it's branded, and it fits nice, and it has a really cool design, and I'm happy that you can only get it in the box, and I legit think I'll wear this. One of the few box shirts that I'll wear. So, like I said, 8.5 out of 10. I think it's deserved. I think it was quite fantastic. But the reality of the situation is all t-shirts get valued the same, and that's the $12 to $15 value. So that's what it gets. But also keep in mind that if you wanted to buy this shirt, you might be able to find it a lot cheaper online, because a problem that we're seeing with this box now, the resale market is dropping, and it's dropping fast. So I'm sure you could find this a little bit cheaper on eBay, someone reselling it if you wanted it, but I got to keep it the same for t-shirts, and that's 12 to 15. So, next, our pop figure. So, again, same thing. When this box first showed up with the first box, everything in there was worth so much more than it should have been because everything was very rare at that time. But every month that passes, there's like thousands and thousands of people that find out about the box and that get the box. So, with each month that passes, the market gets more and more flooded with these things. So even though they're exclusive to the box, there's so many hundreds of thousands of people getting this box that the word exclusive almost kind of loses its meaning because it's so common now. So that being said, the resale market on this pop figure is around $20. And that's pretty close to what it was with last month. And it seems to be going down and down and down. It'll go a little bit lower probably the next month after that, and it'll probably level off around there. If we get a popular character, then it'll go back up. But like last month, this month is pretty similar. Morbius, I think a lot of people know who he is, and he's a cool character, but not everyone. You kind of have to be pretty into Marvel to realize who he is because he hasn't been that present lately. He hasn't done anything very notable. I'm sure he's going to come back around. I'm sure he's got a new comic series or something. That's the reason they're putting him in here. Or maybe he'll show up in a movie. I'm not sure. But he's not the most popular, so the resale market wasn't super high. But again, around 20. If you wanted to buy it right now, probably a few dollars more than 20. If you had the patience to wait for an auction on eBay, probably a few dollars less than 20. So it's a very general 20. It's not exact at all, but just keep that in mind. So, like I said, the resale market would have been better if it was a more popular character, or if so many people weren't getting this box every month. Alrighty. Next, our little Venom Pocket Pop. So, this one's only going to get a value of about 8. Same problem with the last item. So many people get it, so many people don't want it. eBay gets flooded, there's millions of them on there, so resale market is not much higher. So, and it's selling for around $8, like maybe even $1 or $2 less than that. It's still a cool figure, it's still exclusive, but the resale market's just not that great. Then, our Dorbz figure. Once again, same issue. This is only going to get about an $8 to $10 value. So, same problem. Loki's not, he's well known, he was obviously in the Avengers movie, so everyone knows who he is, but he's not super popular. There's so many more villains that are way more popular, where it probably would have brought up the resale market, but I don't think there are a lot of collectors who have Loki as their favorite villain or anything like that. So unfortunately, it didn't bring up the value at all. And on top of the fact that the Dorbz series is just not that popular. I like it, I personally think they're great, but a lot of people don't like it that much, and so there's not a whole lot of collectability to these. Just like the Dorbz we got in the very first box, that you can still buy those for like $5, even though they're normally like 10. So I don't think they've got enough notoriety to become super collectible. Maybe that'll change in the future. There's still a fairly new series, and it's hard to compete with the pop figures because everyone wants pop figures for some reason, just because there's just so much like momentum with that. So I think people just like them better, and this series just isn't that popular, so it didn't increase the value at all, which is kind of a shame, but either way, it still gets what it's worth, which is about $8 to $10. So there's that. Then, our comic. So, this one, same thing. Practically no resale market. The price didn't go up at all. You could very easily find this $6 to $8. Like, it's all over online. $6, $7, $8, depending on where you go. So, it got a little bit more because it's exclusive, but not much more. There's just not a high resale market for the comic books that come in these boxes. But it's still cool to have, nonetheless. Then, the pin and the patch. These aren't super rare either. I'm going to give this like a $2 to $3 range. They're still cool and nice quality, but not really any resale market. So, that being said, on the low end, 56, and on the high end, 64. So you got pretty much double your value. Now you'll notice this is one of the lowest ratings, dollar ratings, we've ever gotten from this box. And it's exactly what I was just talking about, that I've said like a million times in this video already, is that as time goes on, the resale market for these items is going to get lower and lower and lower, because each month more and more people have it. The whole point of being exclusive is that something is rare. If so many people have it, it doesn't matter if it's exclusive because everyone has it. Nobody wants to buy it. So that affects the resale market. So something that's changing about this box is just the market it's being advertised to. So when it first came out, there were a lot of like headhunters out there that don't even care about collectible stuff, that just want to buy it, resell it, that own a comic shop or sell things online, whatever, that just want to make a profit, which they totally could have. If they got the first box, everyone could have made like a pretty penny off it because it was very rare. Now those people are probably going to not get this box anymore because it's a very good box, but there's practically no resale market, and it'd be pretty hard to even get your money back when you have to pay for shipping and things like that. So it's going to be a lot less of those people. But no one really cares about that because that's not the point of these boxes. It's not to help other people make money. Those are like people that nobody wants to deal with. The whole point of this is for people to enjoy it. It's for us, me, you, the people watching to enjoy it. And I think it's still appealing to that. So you're still getting like pretty much double your value. On the website it says about a $50 value, and it's getting closer to that now. The exclusivity is not raising the price a whole ton anymore. So now you're just getting that, probably going to get that $50 value from here on out, which isn't bad at all. That's still a fantastic value, and I think anybody would be happy to get that. So as far as a rating on this box, it's going to get an 8.5 out of 10. Because although it doesn't have high resale, you still get good value, and you still got great items. And like I said, it could have been better, but that doesn't make it bad. They could have picked some better characters, but the ones they picked were still great. You got all exclusive stuff, you got nice quality, you got a good theme. I don't see what's not to like about it. So I'm still going to give it an 8.5 because I think it was great, and I think most people would like it, especially since you knew the theme going into it. But let me know what you guys thought about that, about my whole long spiel about resale stuff, and all of that. So let's hear in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought about this box. The shirt, 8.5 out of 10. Box, same thing, 8.5 out of 10. See you guys in the next video. Love you all. Peace.